Hey, how y'all doing out there in YouTube land? This is Stiletto coming at you from the Wild Wild West. And today, we got one from, let me double check people. Mr. Silver 45, Mr. Silver 45, Mr. Silver 45. And what he wants me to do, let me get it back up here. He wants me to choose only 5 knives, regardless of size, steel type, material, composition, or sentimental value. Which would you choose and why? No honorable mentions. Well, I already just gave him one. And what ifs, any other considerations, just 5? Just 5. Okay, so let's try to narrow it down to 5, people. Narrow it down to 5. This is my EDC drawer. These are the ones that are new for this year. These are ones that sort of just like stay in my drawer all the time. This is from last year. This one's from last year. This one's from a long time ago. 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 But they just sort of stay in my drawer. This one I don't carry. I just like to fidget with it at home. And so, you know, like when I get on the bike or whatever, this is the drawer I go into to grab whatever knife I'm going to take with me. And my top 5. And I'm gonna pick five knives that I use. Not 5 knives that, you know, because I got lots of favorite collectors and stuff like that are fancy or whatever or expensive, and I just don't really use them. And I just collect them because they're so expensive and fancy, and they were so hard to get or whatever. Lots of times I end up not using them. I end up just enjoying them and collecting them, just enjoying, you know, being able to do what I do with them. You know, to manipulate with them or to do whatever, collect them, look at them. That's what I like to do. Be able to pull them out and see them whenever I want to. But these knives are all knives that I use. And I got a pile of fixed blades over here, all the fixed blades that I use. And we're going to try to pick 5 knives. And we'll discuss the reason why. So this video is not going to be a quickie. It's going to take a little bit of time. But first out of this box, and it could be one of my mega folders, I'm going to pick this one. And the reason why I'm picking this one is because this is the one I like to carry all the time. This is the mega folder I probably carry the most. It's this knife, this one right here. This extra large Voyager Tonto with the Japanese AUS 10A blade, and I had the snaggle on it. I don't know what you call these. It's my favorite. It's my favorite one to carry when I want to carry a big knife, especially if I'm going on a bike or something. It stays in your pocket really well. So let's put this one out. And next up is definitely going to have to be, this is my new one for this year, but if I was to pick between the ones that I have in my box that I like to carry, it'd be this one. This is the one from last year that I just finished tricking out this year with Snaggletooth products. Snaggletooth MF products. I put the ring on it. I put the Snaggletooth on it. Absolutely love it. DLC coated S35VN. Cold steel. Both of these are cold steel knives. Tonto blade, hollow ground, flat ground tip Tonto blades, saber ground Tonto blades. Thick G10 scales. 6061 aluminum backspacer that's coated. Stainless steel lock bar, triad lock. 4-inch blade. About 9 inches overall. This one has a 5.5-inch blade. And the handle's has heat treated 6061 aircraft grade aluminum liners. And the scales are made out of Grivery. And that's about it for that one. Both of these have the aluminum snaggletooth on them. The ring's aluminum also. Okay, next one I'm going to pick. Next one I'm going to pick is going to represent for both of these. I'm only going to pick one Shark-Lock knife. Even though y'all know I love my Shark-Lock knives. I love them all. I'm only going to pick one to be in this group. And that one's going to be this one. Why? Because the S model is my favorite Shark-Lock knife. The 8020S model. That's what this is. This has the new Demko scales that I purchased from John Demko in Wampum, PA. The Jade G10 scales. This knife originally came with blue Grivery scales, and then I modified it with OG Goat, black OG Goat. Those are the sharks. I think it was the shark's tooth pattern scales with the V groove backspacer. Now I'm using the barrel spacers that these knives come with. I like it with the G10 scales with this type of setup. I think it looks cool. Gives it more of a translucent look. Absolutely love JG10. And I love the S model because it fits my hand perfectly. So that's number 3. Number 4. What's number 4 going to be? Absolutely love this knife too. This is an XR Lock. SOG, Studies and Observations Group, or AKA SOG. It's got a titanium nitrate coated blade, black coated blade. Nice finish on it. The blade is made out of CTS XHP, cryogenically heat treated. The handle's made out of G10. This is the Wolf Gray G10. They have several different colors. It has full stainless steel liners that are embedded inside the G10 handle scales. It's got the folded over pocket clip. I wouldn't call it deep carry though. The blade style. They call it a spear, I call it a dagger. You call it what you want. I think it's beautiful. One thing I like about this knife, it has a 3.6 inch blade. One thing I like about this one is that it's so easy to operate. And it's even easy for me to operate it with my left hand. This hand I can operate easily with either hand. That's the reason why I like this one. So this one has to go on the list too. Now note, none of these knives types are new to me. I've been liking these ever since they've been making these. I've been liking these ever since they've been making these. I've been liking these ever since I've been owning these now for, this is my 2nd year for the S models. Actually, it's my 3rd year for the S models, because I got S models at the end of, was it 21? The end of 21. So really, I had them for like a year. Yeah, it's like my 2nd year, I guess. Going on my 2nd year with these. But I absolutely love these. And I had the 80-20.5s for a year before I had these. I couldn't get these. I had trouble trying to get these. This one right here, this is my 3rd one. Absolutely love these. These are awesome knives. It's one of my top fidgeting knives of all time. Okay, let's go ahead and set this aside. If I can sit down somewhere. Let me see, I'll sit on the floor. And number 5. I love this one. The Crew Wear exclusive from Knife Center. 171.50. It's got the smooth G10 scales. I didn't like them at first. I absolutely love them now. It slides in and out of your pocket really easy at work and stuff. I changed the ball cage to the titanium ball cage. But they also make them in aluminum, and they also make them in brass and copper, if I'm not mistaken, besides just titanium. And they also have them all different colors or whatever. But I absolutely love this knife, the crew wear. This knife, it seems like it just holds the edge forever. And I always just wipe it down all the time after usage. Because I know it's a knife steel that can rust and stain and everything. So I try to keep it clean as possible after every time I use it. That's one drawback to it. Because, you know, me myself, I would rather have this in a really good stainless steel. I have two of these in S30V, CPM S30V, and I absolutely love those too. One of them I've carried and I've pretty much worn it out. I love it. It's the all blacked out one that you guys seen. I've carried that one for about 3 years now. And then when this one came out, I had to have it. I wanted to get one of those M4s when those came out too. I missed that. I missed it. I wasn't paying attention to it. I missed it. Because I would have gotten one of those M4s with the natural JG10 with the blacked out blade, the DLC blade. I love those. Because that'd be the only way I'd want M4 is if it's coated with DLC or something. So far, this crew wear seems like it's pretty good though. I haven't had any rust issues or anything with it yet. I'm loving it. So these are my 5 folders that I would pick. And those are the reasons why. This one is a self-defense folder to me, or a survival folder, or emergency folder. It's the kind of knife that I like to carry when I go on long rides on a motorcycle, or go long rides anywhere on the freeway for, you know, from one city to another city or something. I like to carry a good knife that's good for everything, a survival knife. And one thing I like about these is that they're fairly lightweight. All these knives are fairly lightweight. I have lots of knives that are like the heavier knives, but I tend to like, these are the knives I would actually carry. I'm showing you knives that I carry, not knives I just think that they're super cool or fun to use or whatever. These are knives I actually carry. I've been carrying these types of knives now for, you know, 3 or 4 years now. Some of these for, you know, last 10 or 12 years. This one, for example, I've been carrying these since, I don't know what, 2008 or 10, when these first came out. And before these, I had the ones without the triad locks. Absolutely love them. Absolutely love them. The Voyager, to me, is like the best bang for your buck for a good survival, self-defense, hunting, fishing, camping, light duty, heavy duty type of knife. You know, for under $100, there's nothing that's better than this knife. Nothing. Nothing can compete with this knife. For the price, for the under $100 mark that it's in, and for the size that it is, this doesn't have a competitor. It blows everything else out the way. You know, there's nothing better than this. And when I say nothing better than this one, well, you know, there is the Counterpoint XL. That's another knife I really like. And that would be a competitor to this one, but they're made by the same company. So out of the same materials, basically. So it's just a matter of choice which style you like. And I like them both. But this is the one that I carry the most. So, and I like to carry this one because it's light. It doesn't weigh that much. And I love Tonto blades. I love the Cold Steel American Tonto. This one is the one I carry in the city where I live. If you're carrying something 4 inches or shorter, you don't have issues. And so I try to, you know, comply with that, you know, because I've been pulled over by the police before, and I've gone through different changes with knives and stuff like that. But I just like in the city, I don't like to put myself in a position where I have to worry about things getting confiscated or something like that. So I carry things within the limits, and all these knives are within my city limits for what I can carry, as far as like the biggest knife I can carry without being bothered with the police. If they, you know, pull me over for some reason and whatever. I don't want to get into all that. But these knives all comply with the laws of my city. All of them have under 4 inch long blades. Most blades, like this one's almost 4 inches. This one's almost 4 inches. This one's like a 3.66 or something like that. And this one's like a 3.66 or 3.7 or something like that. But all the handles also, another reason why I like knives in this size range is because of the handles. All these have handles that fit my hand very comfortably. And I like having the ring on this one, the snaggletooth ring, because it makes this hand extendable. So now I have even more reach. So it makes it even a better self-defense tool. Makes it more like this one, where it's got an extendable handle. I like these, as y'all know, because I love these handles. I don't know if it's an Andrew Demko handle or a Spyderco handle or whatever. Let me put these two handles together. I don't know if these two handles were made by the same person or designed by the same person, or Andrew Demko just liked this handle and he wanted to use this handle. I don't know what that's all about. Doesn't matter to me. I just know that I love these knives, both of these knives, because I like the way they feel in my hand. This one I'm going to get a different pocket clip for, because I'm going to get a deep carry pocket clip. I got deep carry pocket clips on order for it, so they should be on the way. So that's the only thing I'm going to really change on this one. I just want to put a deep carry pocket clip on it, because this one, it pretty much leaves too much of the knife exposed, and this knife I like to carry all the time. The other one I had was all blacked out, and so this pocket clip didn't bother me, and I just carried it with this pocket clip, the blacked out one. But this one's shiny, and it's got shiny parts to it, so I just want to have a deep carry pocket clip for it. This one's not noticeable. This one, because of the color of it, especially if you're wearing like blue jeans or something, it's really not that noticeable at all. This one hides away very nicely. This one hides away very nicely. It just has the dull shiny clip. This one hides away pretty nicely too. It just has this little part sticking out, and it's not very attracting. So that's the reason why I like these knives. Now, I couldn't do a fixed blade in it. I really wanted to add at least one or two of my fixed blades and make it a 7 knife collection. So, I'm going to add a couple of my favorite fixed blades too. And this is one of them. This is my SE6. I love this knife. I've used it for, like batoning through wood and doing camp type stuff. I absolutely love it. And I like it. I'm picking this one over the BK9. Y'all know I love my BK9. My BK9. Because I'm only going to pick one of my two favorite camp knives. And the reason why I'm picking it over the BK9 is because it's lighter. The BK9 pulls down my pants. So it's cool for like when I'm doing the heavy duty chores, but it's not what I want to carry around all the time when I'm in the wilderness. I'd rather carry this one around all the time. So I'm picking this one. And for my other one, now that one is a hard choice because I want to pick one that's more for survival / fighting. Self-defense knife. And I came down to my choices were this one, that's my Warcraft, my 7.5-inch Warcraft. I also like my buck knife. My buck combat knife. And I also like my Recon, my San May Recon. I have this also in the blacked out one with carbon V. You see, do I got enough room for here? But out of all these, if I could only pick one so I can have 7, I'm going to have to pick the Warcraft. I'm going to pick the Warcraft, people. I sort of want to pick the buck. Let me move it. I'm not going to pick this one because it's too shiny. We know this one's getting picked. Okay. Which would you pick? This one is, I think was it 5100? or 5160. I think it's like 5160. I think it is the blade steel. High carbon spring steel. 5160, nice and thick. This one's 3V. Saber ground 3V. Flat ground. Saber ground flat ground with a flat ground tip. 5 millimeters thick. G10 handle scales that are removable. This one, I think this one's G10 also, I think. It's either G10 or Mercant, I can't remember. It's one of the two. But these are removable also. I really like this knife too. This is a buck knife, made in USA. This is made in Taiwan. I think I'm going to have to pick the Warcraft. I just love my cold steel Tontos. Oh man, I love the cold steel Tonto. This is my camp knife. See, the Warcraft could be a camp knife too. These do really good at batoning wood. I use my other one for camp duties also to baton wood with. This is the one that's made in Italy. It's 3V also. That's not coated. Made the same way, just smaller. This one has a 5-inch blade, I think it is. But I love the Warcraft. I wish I would have got one of the bigger ones back in the day, like the 12-inch one. I think that would be an awesome blade for survival and all that kind of stuff. Zombie apocalypse. But this one is heavy, but it's not so heavy that I wouldn't want to carry it. It's a little bit heavier than this one. Let's weigh them out and find out. .9 ounces. That's without the sheath. 12.1 ounces. So they're about the same. They're not too far off, people. They're not too far off. But those would be my two choices for my fixed blades. And then now you've seen my 5 folders. Those would be my choices. That's the best. I know it's not 5. It came out to be 7. I know, but you know what? I'm not perfect, and it's too hard for me to pick just 5. Why? Because each one of these knives I really like. I've always really liked the Recon ones. I really like the Andrew Demko S models with the John Demko scales. I absolutely love the Manix 2 XL, the XL. And I absolutely love the SOG Pentagon. This is the knife that got me into SOGs. Started me wanting to collect SOGs, was this knife right here. And it's an axis lock with the flipper, so my finger's safe, even the axis lock gives out. That's one reason why I like it. This one's safe. Even if the ball bearing lock gives out, check this out. I'm still safe. It's not going to slam down and chop up my fingers. Same thing goes for the 8020S. That's the way Andrew Demko always makes his knives. Same thing goes for the cold steel. And these locks aren't going to give out. But even if they did give out, you're still safe. It's not like your finger's just going to get chopped up. So, these are the knives I like the best. These are my favorites, my personal favorites. This one is like my personal favorite because I can use it with both hands very well, very easily. Even though I can use it with both hands with this one very well too. But these two are pretty much, all of these are pretty much right-hand knives for me. Even though I can use them with my left hand, I can only use these two comfortably with my left hand. And so when I get down to this one gets hard to do with my left hand because this doesn't have the weak spring on it. This has the original strong spring on the ball cage. So to get it in my hand, because I'm not using it, there's nothing to grab onto on this side. Normally I grab onto the pocket clip. On this side it's just smooth. So there's nothing to really grab onto, so it's like really hard. Well, I did it that time, but it's easy to open it, but it's just hard to close it. Whereas with my right hand, it's a different story. Same thing goes for this one. Recoil-Lock's easy for me to operate with my right hand, not so easy for me to operate with my left hand. Even though I can, it just feels awkward. Doesn't feel comfortable. This feels comfortable. That feels comfortable. This feels comfortable. That feels comfortable. The rest of them don't. Now this just, I love the grip on this, on the Warcraft. I don't know if y'all have held one of the original Warcrafts. I absolutely love the handles on these. This is a Demco handle. The handle is just super comfortable. Like Lucky says, it's like a Recon handle. Got the same sort of grip pattern. Which is evident in a lot of Demco knives. You could always recognize a Demco knife lots of times just by the handle. I really like this handle too, the SE6 with the 3D handle. This is a micarta handle. I absolutely love this handle. This one comes with a nice sheath and everything. You don't have to buy anything for it. It's a beautiful knife. Well, people, those are my choices. Those are my choices. So I hope Mr. Silver, was it Mr. Silver 45? Am I saying that right? I know you said don't do a mention. I already did though. Let me see. Yeah, Mr. Silver 45. But there you go, buddy. I hope that answers your question for you. I had to add two because I had to make some room for some of these. Now, don't think that I don't have. Let's see. If you ask me just like what are my favorite mega folders, I have a whole lot of mega folders I would like to show. But I don't carry mega folders every day, so I can't say those are really like my favorites to carry or to use or whatever. And most of them are like brand new because I've never really even used them because those are just self-defense folders. And emergency, I would call emergency self-defense with heavy folders. Those aren't used for everyday cutting chores. And so most of them have original factory edges on them and stuff, unless I've modified them or something. Or I did use them and I damaged them. Then they get all polished out and stuff. I absolutely love this handle. To me, it's one of the best handles Cold Steel's ever made or Andrew Demko's ever designed. Absolutely love the Voyager handle because it feels good, it feels very comfortable and safe in two different positions. And when you put it in the rear position, I don't know if you noticed this or not, let me show you something. When you put it in the rear position, you have almost the same length. So I'm trying to line up this grip with where I would hold it in the rear. So it'd be right about there. That almost makes about a half an inch shorter. This is a 7.5 inch blade. So this one is a 5.5 inch blade. So it's making it probably about 1.5 inches longer. Because you're only like a half inch short of what this one has for reach for the 7.5 inch blade. And I was always told that the best fighting knives have 6 to 9 inch blades. And that means 6 to 9 inches of reach. That's what that actually means for a blade length. It actually means reach length. 6 to 9 inches of reach. So when you're using the Voyager and you hold in the rear grip, you have the same reach as like the best size of knife to have for a self-defense folder. You're in that bracket, 6 to 9 inches for reach. So I think the Voyager to me is a great knife. Another thing that's great about it, if you ever have to get it confiscated, these are under $100. It's not going to break the bank. And you know what? It's better than just about any other knife, unless you get another cold steel knife that's like a higher end cold steel knife. But if it's a knife made by another manufacturer, it's not going to be better than a Voyager. There's no other knives better than a made by another manufacturer that I would consider a better self-defense folder than a Voyager. I don't think any other manufacturer makes a better one. I love my Spydercos and my SOGs and my AD20s and everything. But if I'm gonna pick something for self-defense, I'm gonna pick this. I'm not gonna pick one of these. I'd rather have this for self-defense. If I knew I was gonna get in a combat situation and I needed to have a folder that I was gonna take with me, you know, I might even take something even bigger than I have. You know, I might take one of my Rogers or something. or a Spyder XL. But I'm gonna take one of my big triads. That's what I'm saying. That's what I would take. I would take one of my big triads. And the Voyagers I like because these are lightweight. These are big and strong and super heavy duty and got all the reach that you need. You know, that I would need or that I feel I need or whatever. You know, it's like, you know, I feel you know, confident with this knife. To me, this is like a 44 Magnum. This is like a 38 special or something like that, or a snub nose. This is like a 44 Magnum with a dirty hairy barrel, like a, you know, was that model 629 or what was it the Smith & Wesson that he used to have, or 29 model 29 or something like that with a 7.5 inch barrel, 6.5 inch barrel. That's what this is. And this right here, this would be like a 50 cal. But anyway, that's about all I got for you guys today. I'm gonna go ahead and get this one out for you. Hope you guys enjoy it. Got a couple packages in I need to make videos of. Today's Saturday. I think it's the 25th. Peace out. Stiletto.